We're just a week away from the season opener for the Texans on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. And man, I can't wait for it to get here. One thing that can't happen in that game for the Houston Texans if they have designs on winning, and one thing that will happen will likely help the Texans win that matchup. We'll talk about it right now in this video, powered by my friends at BetUS, a 125% bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits at the link in my description down below. Last year, Anthony Richardson only played 1 game against the Houston Texans, and he was pretty darn good while he was in there, mostly on the ground, and we'll talk about why that can't happen again. And then Gardner Minshew took over, and the Texans couldn't get it going, couldn't get the comeback completed against the Colts in that second game of the season. Now, there's a lot of things that you'll see as we go through some of those plays that just aren't going to be issues this year. The Texans are a deeper team this year. The Texans are a healthier team heading into the first Colts matchup. Remember, last year, no Jimmy Ward, no Jalen Petrie heading into the second game of the season. So they were playing backup safeties. That'll pop up in some of the plays that we showcase here. But you can't let Anthony Richardson get going on the ground. His legs were a huge weapon last year against the Texans in that one matchup. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. In fact, let's just talk about it here and go through some of the plays. Now, this is the first rush of the day for Richardson. The Texans actually had this one pretty well sniffed out. Steven Nelson and Eric Murray take care of the business and force Richardson out of bounds for just a little short gain on this one. So a good job there, but then the next 2 plays, this is where Richardson gets going. Now, watch this play and watch just how Henry To'oTo'o at the linebacker spot allows himself to get eaten up, and then the poor angle that MJ Stewart takes on this one. Watch this. All right, so Richardson, it's a designed run. He takes off. To'oTo'o gets ate up. Stewart takes a terrible angle, and then Anthony Richardson's hitting his little dance in the end zone. Watch it again here. Watch To'oTo'o. This big guard gets up there, and just To'oTo'o just takes a bad angle and lets the guard get in. Like, all the guard has to do is get in To'oTo'o's way, and Richardson's going to be off to the races. Okay, and then look at where MJ Stewart is and where he's headed. He starts to come in. Okay, he's got no shot now because Richardson's turning on the Jets. Grenard and To'oTo'o run into each other, so they're not catching Anthony Richardson. And there's the little dancey dance in the end zone that makes the people in Houston sick. All right, so just a couple of bad miscues on that play. Let's run that one again. Just watch the miscues here. Like, it's blocked up well on the offensive line. I'll give them credit, but To'oTo'o has the lineman get in his way. He can't get there. The bad angle from MJ Stewart. And Richardson's just running free into the end zone, hitting the little dancey dance. All right, let's watch it one more time here. Yeah, it's blocked up well on the defensive line, and then Texans just can't handle it. And it was a few short plays later, and Anthony Richardson was finding himself in the end zone again. Now, this one, we talked about To'oTo'o, a rookie last year, playing early on in the season. All right, his first NFL action at home, and it didn't look too good there. MJ Stewart, a backup safety in that matchup. All right, that's not going to be the case for the Texans next week against the Colts. They're going to have Azeez Al-Shaair out there at the linebacker spot. To'oTo'o is not going to be a rookie, and then here's another rookie situation. Watch Will Anderson there at the end spot. He's going to get totally fooled by the handoff, and he's out of there. He totally takes himself out of the play. Denzel Perryman gets blocked up, and by the time MJ Stewart's over there, there's already a score. Now, Perryman recognizes it. He sniffs it out. Watch Anderson, though. He's going to go flying by. Whoop! Will Anderson is out of this play. There's no way Will Anderson can affect this play now. Perryman sees it. He's got it sniffed out. Look at him. And then he just gets cracked by the wide receiver. There's a blocker out on the edge for Derek Stingley. And by the time MJ Stewart gets over there to lay a pop on Anthony Richardson, that's all she wrote. That Will Anderson situation that we're about to take another look at here, that's not going to happen this season. Will Anderson has so much better play diagnosis than this now. And you saw it develop over the course of the season, and you're going to see it next week. So you can't have Anthony Richardson. I mean, Anderson's totally out of the play. He's like, where's the football? Uh-oh. Way over there. Can't have Anthony Richardson running wild on this Texans team if they have designs on winning the game. It just can't happen. I mean, that's one of his only consistent weapons. And I'm a little worried about Shane Steichen and his ability to scheme this thing up, certainly. Okay. He is a very good coach. And with Jonathan Taylor as a more dangerous running back than what the Colts had last year, which was Zach Moss, and Moss still had a really good game against the Texans, it's going to be a little bit harder to figure out exactly when the ball's staying in Richardson's hands, when the ball's going to Jonathan Taylor. It's not going to be easy, but the Texans are more well equipped to handle Anthony Richardson on the ground. The defensive end situation is better. It's Danielle Hunter and second-year Will Anderson. The linebacker situation is better with Azeez Al-Shire making sure everybody is lined up in the right spot, the extension of D'Amico Ryans on the field. And the safety situation is better. Starting safeties, how would that feel to play a game with starting safeties? Jimmy Ward and Jalen Petrie in that one. And that is where the Texans are going to be able to at least counter some of what Anthony Richardson brings to the table. And that's his main weapon, because through the air, not so good. I want to show you. My friends at BetUS have this for you. And Anthony Richardson's passing touchdown prediction for the season, 17.5. We're going to go under on this at BetUS. You can get signed up at the link in the description down below. You're going to get a 125% bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. Anthony Richardson, under 17.5 passing touchdowns, and you'll see exactly why in a moment, why I'm doing this. I just do not believe that Anthony Richardson, A, is going to stay healthy enough for an entire season, and B, I just don't believe that he's got the passing prowess to take care of a number like that. He's going to run a lot. They're going to give the ball to Jonathan Taylor. Even if he does play the whole season, we're going under 17.5. It's that easy to get in on BetUS. Check out the link in the description down below. Now, why do I not believe in some of the passing? Well, some of the stuff we've seen in the preseason this year, coming off of a serious shoulder injury, and when he was healthy last year, Anthony Richardson didn't look good throwing the ball. Let's go through some of his throws from the game against the Texans last year. This very first one, early on, I mean, Steven Nelson flies in there, sees it. Watch this. It's a quick read. Richardson knows he's going right to that. Okay, now that's an important part of Richardson's development because he didn't play a ton of football last year. So it's still very much new, early, and maybe some simple stuff for him to get him going. The Texans, Steven Nelson had that one sniffed out. We'll go to the next play here. Look, just watch how Richardson is not quite as polished and put together as some of the quarterbacks. Like this one. This is a designed pass for him to quickly get the ball out. All right, that's not going to work over the course of a game. Look, okay, quick scan in the middle of the field, boom, get it right out there. Doesn't quite nail some of the intricacies of the quarterback position. Watch this throw. Now, look, it's a good play. He scans the field. He finds it. It's not one of those predetermined ones. But watch the tight end here. Watch how he has to adjust his body. It's a throw kind of behind him. Tight end's you got to put that out in front of the tight end. Tight end had to stumble, adjust, and it cost the Colts some yards there. Okay, Richardson's just not as crisp as you would want a guy to be. This one's a nice, easy throw to Josh Downs, and nothing wrong with that. Scans the field, doesn't see anything, comes back to Downs. This is a good play by Anthony Richardson, and he still kind of throws a bullet there to Downs. So that's something to watch, the right amount of touch on plays. Here's another Richardson throw. A little play action, and a little dump off to Mo Alley Cox. Like, this is a nice, easy play. This is what he's going to be successful on, but it's also something that D'Amico Ryans is going to be able to sniff out over the course of a game. It's actually a really well-designed play, well blocked by the Colts up front as well. That's all in the first drive, and that play actually set up that first Anthony Richardson rushing touchdown. Now, this is later when the Texans have kind of got a little bit of success against Anthony Richardson when he's in the game. Now, obviously, he was hurt a little bit in these because he'd missed time after this game, but let's watch Anthony Richardson here. Again, the crispness is not there. This is actually a great play that most quarterbacks can't make. It's a throwaway, but I wanted to put it in there because a lot of guys just get sacked. Richardson's ability to maneuver out of the pocket and then get rid of the ball left-handed. That's actually a really good play. I wanted to leave that one in there. All right, Richardson really wants the ball. Again, watch this play. Watch where he throws it. All right, they've got to get past the sticks and watch where he throws it. Right to his guy, but too high. The guy can't corral it. He throws it to the spot. They go past the sticks, but the throw isn't good enough. If he hits the guy in the numbers, they got a first down. They keep the train on the tracks. And here's another Anthony Richardson one, the last one of the day, and he just misses wide. I mean, he's not even close. Like, and this is a play that sometimes is going to go back for an interception the other way because he's just off. And we saw it in the preseason too. He's not in tune with these wide receivers on some of the plays. And I don't want to overrate preseason games, but that final preseason performance, he started 6 of 6 and he finished, I think, like 8 of 15. Like it wasn't good. He had a really nasty interception in that matchup. Anthony Richardson has issues putting the ball in the air consistently. And that is something that the Texans are going to be able to take advantage of because they're going to have their full complement of defensive backs. Jimmy Ward, Jalen Petrie, when Murray's on the field, when Petrie's down there in the slot, and then obviously Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter on the outside. Plus that pass rush is going to heat him up, force him to make quick decisions. We talked about what can't happen. You can't have Anthony Richardson get going. That can't show up in the game. You know what is going to show up in the game? Anthony Richardson's inconsistencies. And the Texans will have to take advantage of those. When Richardson gives you a gift, is a little bit high on a pass that should have kept things going, take advantage of it when you get the ensuing drive and put some points on the board against this Colts defense that's got a couple of players, but probably doesn't have enough to slow down the Texans to the point to beat them. That's a week out. We got so much more this week headed your way. And if you want to get in on the action, my friends at BetUS have the ability for you, a 125% bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. That link is in the description down below. Check it out. Man, football season is almost here. I can't wait. Appreciate you watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up on the video so it's a like. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything this week as we get you ready for Texans and Colts and the season getting going a week from today. Thanks, everybody. Kind of a weird ending.